And like one of the guys like with a gun pokes this ceiling as they're walking in, and out comes like $30 million in cash. MODA Miami just came around a couple of years ago. And MODA started right around the same time, shortly after Sotheby's Motorsport was launched. So like, you know, kind of the origin stories are a little bit similar. They're following parallel paths. And 2 years ago, we were trying to figure out a way to like bring people together to do something that wasn't like a car rally. That wasn't like, you know, come to a track or come look at something, because fighting for airspace at some of these events is really hard. If you're a car guy, you can find the car that you love the most, you can find the event that you love the most, and you're going to be competing with like 5 or 6 other things at any given point during the day, during, you know, Miami Car Week, Amelia Island, all that stuff. It all lumps together. We had had some experience, some success doing something that came about kind of organically, where like Massimo Bottura, who's like, he was the first celebrity chef, right? Based in Modena, started this incredible restaurant, has this like DNA to Ferrari and Lamborghini, and also like a massive car enthusiast. He was like coming out with this new book. It was called Slow Food, Fast Cars. And it was really all about this like bed and breakfast type deal that he started, you know, in the hills of Italy, that was like centered around cars and driving, and it was all his old retired recipes, the most famous recipes from like all his restaurants. He would like retire at this place. So he was coming to LA to promote this book, and his publishers reached out to us and they're like, hey, you guys have a spot in LA. Massimo's an incredible guy, loves cars. Like, can we do something here? And we didn't really know what to do at the time, but we're like, yeah, that sounds cool. Like, he's cool and we like him. And like, I think to be an enthusiast is just like, it's transferable, right? Like it transcends other things. Like if you're into something, go deep, you know what I mean? Like understand the nuances and the little kind of quirks to it. And like, that's what he is, right? For foodies, for people who love cars, like he's a passionate dude. So we said, okay, cool. Why doesn't he just come in and we'll just do a panel talk? I put him on stage in our little LA office next to Shelby, and I think I moderated part of it. And we had like 150 people show up and just like listen to like Shelby talk about being an enthusiast and like a lifelong enthusiast of cars. Massimo talk about, you know, a lifelong enthusiast of food. But then both of them talk about like the intersection of like the attention to detail on both sides, and like the nuances of design and layout and color and taste and experience. And like, there's a lot that like intersects in the middle. But afterwards, the people that attended were like, this was great, right? Like we love this so much because it was just different, right? It wasn't like show up to a Cars and Coffee, which are amazing, and we're hosting one tomorrow. But they were like, it gave us something that we don't get, but it was still something that we're passionate about. So then when we were, you know, kind of full circle to MODA, we're like, okay, cool, what can we do? Like, how do we bring together a group of like cool people within the space, still get to engage, interact with them, but give them something different than you're just kind of given normally? So we had this idea of like, obviously like Miami is an infamous place, and it was really infamous in the 80s and 90s for, you know, the cocaine trade and the drug trade and everything that came along with that. So we also knew that like, you know, drug money fueled a lot of the race teams that were going on down there, a lot of the offshore, you know, boat race teams. Like there is a direct connection between the cartels and the money laundering operations in South Miami in the 80s and 90s to like the edifice of a lot of like the motor racing that was happening during that time, but that also carries forward today. Obviously the drug money is since gone, but like the DNA is still there. So we're like, okay, what if we could go find some DEA agents and we run back the Massimo Bottura idea, and that we just do like a panel talk about what it was really like to be in Miami during that time period, and like, what did the cars look like, and who were the people like, and like what was like, you know, what happened? And thankfully, Ethan Gibson, who runs like global PR and comms for RM, was like, you know, he used to be a Border Patrol agent, which is like the jump from being a Border Patrol agent to now like running comms and social media for RM Sotheby's is like a whole another great story. But he's like, oh, I know a guy. He's like, I know this guy that like used to be stationed in Miami, you know, around that time. So we find this guy who connects us with his buddy, and they were like, great, we'll do it. Like we're in, you know what I mean? One of them was like writing a book. So it was like this like perfect, like great. Like you want to tell the story, we want to tell the story. And then we partnered with this, one of our close friends, clients down there, his beautiful home on the water. He's like, great, why don't we use my house? We went and talked to Singer, and we were like kind of like establishing a partnership with Singer, which has now come to fruition. And like we're the official secondary market partner globally for Singer. And we're like, cool, you bring some cars. So we'll have these Singers outside. we'll invite all these clients, you know what I mean? So we start like curating a little bit of an invite list of people who might think this is cool. And one of the DEA agents was stationed in Colombia in the 80s and 90s. And like he was an undercover, like going after the narcos. And the other guy was focused on money laundering operations undercover in Miami. And so we're like, all right, this is going to be great. So like, you know, we sit in front of the audience and I'm sitting in the middle and I'm just like kind of peppering them both with questions back and forth. But like the stories these guys had of, you know, raiding a home in South Miami where they thought it was a drug running operation. They walk in and like, it's like a drop ceiling and they could tell it was like bowing in the middle. And like one of the guys like with a gun pokes this ceiling as they're walking in and out comes like $30 million in cash. You know, it just comes like pouring out of the ceiling. And then you go into the garage and there's like a brand new 911, you know, next to a brand new Mercedes. And like, it was the stories that they had about, you know, the money, the cars, the boats, like the people, the women, like they said it was like nothing they ever seen. Obviously, like you mirror that with like a bunch of violence and like, you know, cocaine and like, you know, horrible atrocities. But what it also fueled was just like these just wild stories and these wild experiences of, you know, literally entire race teams with, you know, multi-million-dollar cars and boats and, you know, traveling the globe and winning races because they had unlimited capital to invest in their cars, to invest in their teams, to invest in their marketing. And they had like real brands tied to it too. Like if you're trying to sell cigarettes, you want Marlboro on the winning car, right? You want it on the winning boat. So then they would slap their logo on it. And then like you go a couple onion layers deeper. And these DEA agents were like, oh yeah, like all of the money was flowing through drugs and they would try to wash it here and you know, it falls out of the ceiling there. And, you know, we find it wrapped in tires and in 911s and stuff like that. Like an unbelievable experience. But like, you know, the story arc too was that, you know, the whatever 200 people that showed up to this event that we did on the water in Miami, all of them were like, dude, this is it. Like, this is why that we're, you know, kind of passionate about this space. Cause like you're part of the DNA of the car, right? So if you own a car, if you drive a car, no one can take you away from that history. It's not like art that you can look at or it lives in a museum, which is obviously beautiful for other reasons and impressive. But like, with a car, if you own a painting, you own that painting. If you own a car, you drove that car. You put miles on that car. You experienced it. Maybe you know, did the Pan Americana or you filled it with baby goats, but like that can never be taken away. And it's the same thing with these stories. And it's the same thing with all the people who showed up. Like they felt that passion about the space and like what else happens around it. And it's just a way for us to like engage and tell stories that like nobody else can. And then, you know, those people who showed up, buy and trade cars online, they buy and trade cars at auction, and like it was a really cool thing to experience.
This month of VINwiki content is brought to you by Premier Financial Services, and they are the perfect partner in your journey to own your dream car because their Simple Lease is the most powerful tool in the world of exotic car financing. You'll get all the benefits of a leasing structure like lower payments and better tax treatment, along with everything we love about a normal exotic car loan where you can trade in and out at any time, always know where you stand thanks to their amortization table, and accumulate equity for whenever you're finished and ready for the next car. And Premier is great because they're wholly owned and backed by First Financial Bank, which means they have more buying power than any other exotic car bank or collector car bank in the United States, and their customer service is unmatched. Also, rates are lower than they have been in a very, very long time, so it's never been a better time to reach out to Premier, talk to their representatives, learn what you can pre-qualify for, and let them help you own the car of your dreams with Premier Financial Services.